So hive number 9 has been a really busy hive lately, and since we did the other splits and found queen cells in well, all of them, we're pretty sure we're going to have to do something with hive number 9. So today Ed and I are going to go into hive number 9 and cut out queen cells and see if maybe we have to do a split with them, because easier to do the split now than dig them out of a tree later. So let's go to it.
The other.
Yeah. And number 9, which is this hive, I don't know if they are still aggressive. Last year they were quite aggressive, but I think they requeened themselves at some point. And we'll see as we get into it just how buzzy they are. Now here we have a honey excluder in place.
Okay, you can see the line underneath it, yeah.
Right, so you're not going to see too much activity up here. They haven't really come through the excluder yet or had a reason to. So
They still have room down below to take them.
they still have room down below.
There's a couple, but
Yep. Now as we get through here, we're going to start seeing some activity. Just going to load back on top of here. And this was a little feeder plate that I put pollen in, but we can take that out. It was actually artificial pollen. As far as I know, this is a queen right hive, but they have enough population that they might be thinking along the lines of Swarm City. So we want to take a close look at this one, since we had 3 other hives that had queen cups in them. We know that it is that season. April and May is swarm season. You can have swarms into June quite easily, but the primary swarm season is like May. I've had them as soon as the first week of April. And there's one hive beetle crawling around amongst them, if you can see that hive beetle in there.
maybe hiding in one
of the cells, yeah. You see how they jumped off the frame like that? A little bit of aggressiveness. Not like it was last year. More brood. Some drone brood. There is a queen cup
right here.
Let's see if there's anything in it. No. It's very common for them to put together queen cups. They like keep their options open, but it's when it's charged that you have an impending swarm. These are starting to get sticky, so they're glued together at the bottom. Now things are starting to get a little more interesting.
Oh, you open up a lot of the...
Yeah, it's drone brood. I'm more interested in these. And I'll knock them down. And I'm
Is that
actually
a closed one?
No, that's a drone. I'm actually gonna smoke these guys a little bit and scrape this frame.
That one doesn't have near the...
No, not seeing any queen cups on this guy. Yeah, we're gonna have to clean that up a little bit.
There's another one.
But I'm not seeing
Now,
cups.
you ripped open some of the...
Yeah, between the ones that they formed between.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is almost 100% drone brood because they can fit an odd-shaped cell in there. And the bigger odd-shaped cells is where they lay the drones. Where she climbs into a cell that's big.
You see a
Yeah, it's more drone.
yeah. But what I was going to ask, you have the cells that we just tore open.
Mm-hmm.
So they really can't go back into a cell anymore. What would the bees just take that larva and carry it away from the hive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we have a frame that again is really polluted at the bottom. That was a charged queen cell.
Okay.
So we're going to smoke away from the bottom and clean it off. Try to chase them off the bottom there. So these girls, if I was going to split another hive, this would probably be the next hive to split.
I have, considering one is weak, if there were no charged queen cells, but there's a lot of brood, could you take and put the super
I could
from
take this
one
frame
and put it on?
Yeah, if we were absolutely positively sure there's no queen on this frame, we can actually stick that in this frame the way it is into the first hive. So let me look really carefully. I want to make sure that there's no queen. And that's, I think, exactly what I'm going to do because these guys are a little overpopulated. But I want to
I'll go pull the
top off.
top off and
Yeah. Right.
Okay, girls. And then a center,
Actually, yeah, close to where that brood nest was.
which would be either here or here.
Yeah.
I guess you need to have the tool.
Yeah,
Little
actually, there's
area.
more tools in the bag. I should have brought more. But, we'll,
And then you can place that one back in the other hive.
right. So I want to find a frame that's right up against where we found brood. Right there.
Okay.
So we're going to take this frame, and we're just going to drop it in there. Any field bees that are on this frame will fly back to the original hive. Any nurse bees that are on this frame, though,
We'll stay with the
will stay
frame.
with this frame, this hive. So that's a way of building up the population a little.
Okay.
Don't forget that, yeah.
We'll put-
Now we're over to drone brood for the most part. We've still not run into the queen. She's probably downstairs. The important thing is that she didn't end up swamped. And again, we have queen cups. Yeah, this one is, I'm thinking has to...
That one, it's almost like they want all that queen cups. It's like they want to take and swarm.
Yeah, they do. Well, this is their primary goal. Our goal is to try to keep bees. Their goal is to split colonies and fly off and find new homes. So we have conflicting goals as a beekeeper and a bee. Just if there's no brood on this frame, I'll put that other empty frame in there. Nope, just supplies. So we'll stick this frame back in, and then we'll put that other frame in, the blank frame.
Keep trying to crawl in where they're going to get squished.
I know, it's they don't really comprehend the whole concept of beekeeping. Why should they, you know?
They know how to keep themselves.
Yeah, they know how to keep themselves. So well, I don't know what these people are doing, but we know what we're doing. So now we'll go downstairs. And the first thing I want to do is I want to clean off some of these frames. Yeah, we're gonna do some serious smoking here because I want to get them all off the top of the frame so I can
Scrape the top of the frame.
Yep. Scrape the frames off. Otherwise, what happens is when you put the other super in, you have clearance problems and some of the bees get squished. So,
We're trying to prevent squishing.
Yep. So, we'll start again by trying to get the side frame out.
I know periodically, these are nailed together.
Yep. These
Do you ever
nails.
take the frames out and completely clean them off back to the original substrate? Or do you just
If it really gets to be bad and the frame itself physically is okay, it's not broken or anything, then you knock the wax out of it and get foundation, replace the foundation. For the most part, it takes 8 pounds of honey to produce 1 pound of wax. So you really set bees back when you're taking away drawn comb. Drawn comb is gold. This frame's nice and heavy.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of drone comb on the bottom. It isn't as critical to be cleaned off on these, but I'm still going to do it because it's just too protrusive.
Let's see a bit of close-up of what's going on inside.
Never too happy about that. Because
I noticed. Well, of course, I'm blocking the entrance too. That's not helping any.
Well, when you are destroying brood, they see you as an enemy for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So you can try talking to them. They're not going to listen.
I don't speak their language, and I can't dance.
Right. Lots of nice comb. Lots of nice brood. Lots of nice small eggs. It's funny, sometimes I'll put these videos up and they'll go, "Oh, look at 4 minutes and 34 seconds. There's your queen." Somebody else will see the queen.
And that's nice of them.
Yeah. So far I'm seeing drones. But, just with the amount of brood and young brood in this hive, we know that we have a laying working queen. We just don't want to accidentally end up with 2 of them. Have some of the bees leave town, which also brings up the fact that I got to get some swarm traps up. Swarm traps are basically like an empty box with some comb in it, and you hit it with a little lemon oil. They love lemon oil for some reason. And hopefully the swarm says, "Oh, this is a neat place to be," and
okay, down here it's like indentation.
right, that was areas probably eaten off by a field mouse that they later tried to build it back up. Not seeing a queen yet. I should say, I'm not seeing a queen yet. One of our viewers may see a queen. I'm sure seeing evidence of a queen though. I don't see any more queen cups.
Again, the bottom of that frame is
Yep, covered in
Totally
drone
covered.
brood.
You start wondering why they need so many drones.
Yeah, you only need one to get the job done, but they certainly build up the drone brood in spring, because that's when you're going to have the swarm. And that's when you're going to. Yeah.
We definitely got them all fired up. They ain't even
Oh,
bothering
yeah.
the camera right now.
Yeah, once they
Well, that one doesn't have anything on the bottom of the frame.
no, but it has some beautiful worker comb on it. Worker brood. One little thing about queens is they run from the light. So it's often very difficult because while you're looking at one side, they're running across the back of it and coming up the other side. Go ahead.
You have to be careful you don't squish her.
Yeah. You'll normally find the queen on a frame that has a lot of very young brood or eggs in it. Because that's obviously where she's been working. Frames that have an older brood on it, she's been there and moved on to other locations. It's funny how it changes from time to time. Here you have another frame that has a ton of
On the bottom it's broken
drone brood
off.
on it. Yeah. Yeah, this is a bad frame, but it's so full of brood, I'm not going to change it.
The whole bottom looks like it's
Yeah.
rotten off.
Chances are this frame came from that abandoned hive. It was we found on the neighbor's property, because that had a number of frames that were mouse-eaten and falling apart. But you know, you don't
Because
want
it
to
has brood in it, it's not worth.
right. If they're
Interesting. What's
she's got some of the juice on her from one of the
okay.
drones. They will clean that off of her. See how they jump off like that? Yeah, that's a sign that they're not happy with you. We'll give them a little distraction with the smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a drone larva. You can tell by the head, actually.
That hasn't yet made it to.
Right. Probably was in one of the capped cells that we cut.
On the bottom.
What a beautiful frame of worker brood, though. This hive is going to be popping.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the queen last fall I was a little worried about, but she's doing one heck of a job. I'd like to see her, but...
You haven't found her yet?
Yeah, exactly. Again. Well, their hive is a little disturbed right now. She's all the way over to laying on the side frame. Just about.
No, I thought I saw something over in this area.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see a circle of attendant bees around the queen. Once you start heavily smoking the hive, though, that quickly disappears. So they get a little random and they're running. But right now, today, I'm just focusing on getting some of this drone brood at the bottom of the frames cleaned up, because it's getting bad. Because these girls have been very active. Huh. Get this over here and over here, so we can lift this frame up and take a look at it. And there's not much to see on this one. And I think this is a fairly young queen. As I said, this hive was very aggressive last year. Then it looked like they were superseding. And I think they succeeded in superseding. And the nature of the bees is a factor of the queen, its genetics, and whatever drone she mated with. So if you have a more aggressive hive, and they supersede, and that queen goes and mates with a less aggressive breed drone, then they tend to drop off and they're not as aggressive. So this was a productive visit. I mean, we were able to nail a few queen cells, and I think we have to eye this one up as being another split.
Well, that's why I was asking about
Yeah.
number one, if you took one of the pieces off of that,
Yep.
and like you said, it's the you get the brood workers
Uh-huh.
that will take and help build that hive up over
Yep.
there.
That's exactly right. Now we're going to flip this one this way, because the queen free, come on girl, come on. The queen free hive, or the queen free super, is this one here.
Right. all brand new frames in it.
Yep. When I started seeing that build up, this is the time of year when they really do a number as far as building up comb. So, you know, why not put them to work on a frame, on a super that doesn't have anything in it? And that's kind of what we're doing here. So, all of this comb down here is drone comb we pulled off the bottom. There were a couple of queen cells, and at least one of those queen cells was charged, which tells me these girls are thinking about that. Basically looking for hive beetles more than anything else.
We saw evidence of one.
Here, this is a good example. A lot of things are being uncapped. You can tell by the wax. Not as much brood because that's a fresh queen, or rather it's a queen in a fairly open colony. And this one's the split, so there isn't too much activity going on here.
A lot of ants.
A lot of ants. They'll keep them under wraps when they're in the hive. But nothing new there. And we'll just go right down the back line here.
I'll meet you around that.
Yeah, on the hives, as long as you're not finding the ants in the hives, you're in good shape. They will always be underneath the hive. They will always be on the bottom board because there's always treats there. And I don't want to put any type of poison or chemicals down there.
Does that affect the bees?
Yeah, it could affect the bees. So, you know, you just kind of live with them. I mean, you can move the hives to a different location. This bottom boardwalk here was actually, I built that back in the 60s, pressure treated wood. That was the original one when I first kept bees. And amazingly enough, it survived pretty well. I only had to replace maybe half a dozen of the boards when I cleared this area out. This was all overgrown.
Okay.
And there's some videos up there about clearing that out. But yeah, okay, so this is pretty successful.
So it's obvious that we're going to have to do something with hive number 9. But, you know, you can't keep splitting hives. Every time you split a hive, you set them back. Unless you have some fertile queens you can throw into that split. They're set back about 45 days. So I'm going to try to devise something. But we know that if I go in there next week, there's just going to be a bunch more queen cells. They're kind of having in their minds that they want to split that colony. And I really don't want them to, but I don't want to end up with too many hives to deal with. So remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.